do the work to develop that strong mind, to develop a solid concept of being, of who they truly are, the authentic self, the authentic person. Who are you? So in the Learning Castle, we take our participants through a self-discovery, if you may, a journey to self-discovery, which is a powerful thing. Absolutely. A journey to self-discovery.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Aaron George. Welcome to Byond Talk. And
hi,
with me, my amazing co-host, Sandra Turgot of Byond.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Excellent. Yes, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties there, so we have to just go with the flow. Technology is such, it's so fickle, eh, Sandra?
I know. It can be a pain, eh?
Oh, definitely. We'll get it right.
Because we're talking about healing, it wants to give us pain. But
exactly.
We're not going to take it on, so we'll just go right along.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we just want to say welcome to everyone that's joining us today. And for those of you that are new, we say welcome and thank you. And just to let you know a bit about Byond, what is Byond Talk all about? So Byond is a social mentoring forum. It's a space designed to engage our community in thought-provoking conversations about real-life issues, triumphs, pain, grief, growth, and success. This space is designed to inspire you to foster transformation and healing. We believe that life is one big classroom where teachers and learners are interchangeable. And we want to inspire you to go after your healing and transform your life. Because one of the greatest tragedies in life is for us to lose our authentic self and to live the version of ourselves that is accepted by everyone else. So again, welcome. And we are in part 3, Sandra, of the 6-part series.
Yes, is it part 3? Yeah.
Yes. And we're talking about healing.
Definitely. And with us tonight, I was a little bit distracted, Aaron, trying to share the link. But tonight, we're talking to Treyon Bakash. I hope I said that correctly. And he's backstage. And we're also, Natabo is going to join us in about 15 minutes. She'll be joining the conversation. So Aaron, hey Trey.
Hey guys, wow, this popped up there.
I know you popped up here. You didn't even knock.
I know.
Not even knock.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Of course.
It's our pleasure. So you guys, you can go ahead and share the link with your friends so that people can join us to hear this powerful conversation.
Share the link, guys. Share the links.
Yeah, share the link. If you go on Dark, you'll find it and you can share it from there. I'm doing that right now myself. So Aaron, I know we're continuing the conversation about love and loss. And finding the why through healing. Usually when we lose something we love, someone we love, we usually go to the why question. We want to know why. Why this is happening to me? Why am I going through this? Why did I lose this? Why am I losing this? Why is this so hard? And we know that some people stuck in the why for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
But we're saying, let's find the why through healing. Let's begin to do the work. Let's begin to go on this journey of healing so that we can answer the why for ourselves, because the why is really us.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
The whys will become evident when we start asking, those questions, the right questions, and just being honest and open.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to be talking to Trey, of course, about this. But before we jump into it, Trey, I want to ask you a question.
For sure.
What do you fear the most? What do you fear the most? As it pertains to love and loss, right? What do you fear the most?
What do I fear the most? Wow. To being lonely. I'm fear to be in love and losing that love, and it's something that I've been going through my whole life. So it's literally a fear that I don't want to really get too many people close to me, because once you're gone, like, that really affect me in a certain way.
Wow. Have you ever thought about
Trey?
Love is good, guys. Love is good.
Wow, that's powerful. Aaron, what do you fear the most? That was great, Trey.
What do I fear the most
as it pertains to love and loss?
Yeah, you're afraid of getting your heart broken. After, and you kind of learn, right, from the first one. When your heart gets broken the first one, then you try to change the way you approach things, and sometimes you might, if you're leading with your emotions, you might try to lead with your mind, and the second time to protect your heart. But I think it has to be a good combination, and we learn through experience and through time, just to have a good balance between the emotion and the intellectual, in terms of the choices that we make, in terms of the person that we choose to allow into our life and to share that sense of love with.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, that was good. All right. Okay, Aaron. Okay.
That was just my own experience, because I know the first time my heart got broken so bad, I said the second time, no way, it's not going to happen again. I'm going to make a decision with my mind and not my heart. But sometimes you go from one extreme to the other, right? But you have to have a nice balance.
Of course.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer that.
I was just about to ask. I'm like, I'm not answering it. It's okay.
Can I be? So if I will be 100% honest, I get to a place in life that I've lost so much. I feel that I've lost a lot, so I don't fear losing anything. I don't get myself attached to anything to that extent. So I think the problem with my fear before was because I get so attached, and so the attachment, letting go was so painful and fearful and hard. But after you've been burnt and hurt and mashed one time too many, you learn, you develop muscles to just be in the moment with things and not be so attached to them, so that you're always fearful of losing it. And I mean, it's a work in progress. And as we're talking about healing, that's really what it is. I believe that I'm on a healing journey, and through my journey, I've learned this.
Yes.
Don't get so comfy in a space, any space, so that if you lose it, you lose your mind or lose yourself with it.
Correct.
Just give a lot, but not all. Like I want to give a lot, but not all.
Okay.
Interesting.
Aaron, right?
Yeah. No, but you know what? Just what I found like in the early days, because I didn't know who I was, and I had the negative mindset. So there was a big fear, the fear of losing, fear that this person is going to leave me, and that can be tied to your self-image. But as you grow in who you are and your self-image, and you know who you are, then you can be assured in a relationship, whether the person leaves or whether they don't leave. I mean, you're going to do all you can to make sure it's a nice, harmonious, growing relationship. But if the time comes when the person says, hey, we're growing apart, and we can handle it, right? But that's part of growing, and that's part of maturing, as individuals. How we start is not how we're going to finish. Our love at 20 is not the same as our love at 50. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You would have learned something in those years, and the attachment, learning to give up the attachment, is the attachment hunger, wanting to feel that you need to be with somebody, and that's because you're not connected to yourself. You haven't discovered your authentic self yet. Once you discover the authentic self, then you can stand firm, whether somebody's with you or somebody's without you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
100%. That's powerful, and really, this is why we're having the conversation. Trey, is to get our listeners to take themselves on the path of healing if they're not already on that path. And
path of healing, that's good.
Path is to encourage them to continue that journey, because it is a journey, and don't give up. Hello, Carla. How are you? Don't give up. Continue on this
healing journey for sure.
Healing journey. She said, I love that. Hey, Carla. So Trey, we want to talk to you. So we want you to spill it. So tell us.
We want to talk to
we want to talk to you. We want to talk to you, Trey.
Okay.
Tell us how has it been for you? We know that you have loved. You have lost.
I have loved and lost.
Talking about we're not talking so much about the romantic love tonight, but we're talking about more of the maternal paternal love. We're talking about the mommy daddy love. We're talking about losing, whether through death or whether through Aaron. We wrote this
immigration,
through migration.
Correct.
How you lose that maternal love or paternal love, and how that affects you, because it does affect us big time.
Of course it does.
So we want you to take us on that journey, because we know that your story has something to do about losing that maternal love, and how your life kind of took a turn with you seeking for that love you lost, and how you end up on this amazing road of healing, because you are on this road of healing, and I love that. So go for it. Let me shut up so you can go for it.
All right. So so I think that all started at age 5. I was born and raised in Guyana, so my parents left when I was about maybe 3 or so. They came to Canada. I was raised by my grandparents. So to me, they were my parents at that time. It was, I lost both of them within a week apart, and they both died in front of me. So from there, I went living with my mom's sister, which I also call mom. So, so being in that situation, coming from, losing my at 5 years old, you don't really understand too much. You really understand death. But I know I did felt unease of giving a piece of me as a child. And I think a lot of people just think just because you're a child, you won't know any better. But we still feel, we still know what's going on. Right. And growing up from then, after my grandparents, it's now everything started going in as in why my parents left. So I did not know anything. I never asked anything really, but you could just think and wonder, how come your parents don't want you there with them? You understand? So growing up as a child, I just literally been I put on this face where I just don't want no one to ask me too much question about certain things. I was so lost as a child that I was just so focused on trying to get that parental love.
Yeah.
And because I just felt like, okay, had it from my grandparents, and now I have to go to my aunt and uncle to get this parental love. But it was a different type of love coming from my grandparents to my auntie. So now I'm confused, as in what I felt with my grandparents was that was I supposed to feel that same way towards my aunt and my uncle. Like they're still raising me, they're still taking care of me, just like how my grandparents did. But the love was different. So that's when I would start trying to figure out what is love. Then I realized it all depends on who the love directed to. And I honestly, I spoke to my parents here and there on the phone, which was great. And I felt a different type of love, but I didn't see them yet. I never know how they look like, right, at the moment. So it was more excited. So when I know I was coming to this country, it was something like, to me, it was to leave a small village to come and start a new life in a country that everybody wanted to come to. It was great. And from then I was in the airport for basically a day, the whole day. So I landed like at night. So my parents forgot that I was even at the airport. So up to this day, I really don't know why I never asked. It's just something, but it shows you how it still affects me. How each, from my grandparents to my auntie to my parents. So it, from just being in the airport, is now you start thinking, are you even loved?
Right.
Do they remember you? Do they, especially when this is the first time meeting each other?
Wow.
So there's so much things going through your head. So the way that kind of affected me, because I'm just like, all right, I was looking for a mom figure. I was looking for a mom love, the mom love that I wanted, that I felt like I never gotten up to this day. And it affected me so much that I've been looking for that in females. I was looking that in teachers. I've been looking at anyone who could give me that. So I just never really, I think up to now, I'm still battling with it. It still affect me with it. Oh, hey.
Hi.
You just came and sneak up on here so quiet.
I know.
I didn't want you to lose your train of thought. So
it's never lost. It's never lost.
All right, go for it. Continue.
Yeah, so it's just like I felt I've been looking to find this love that I never got. And all I can remember is those times. And I don't think parents really understand how much it affects a child. When something like that happened, it don't have to be the same what like I left in the airport or my parents left me when I was young. And I understand they need to make a better life. So I still don't know why I wasn't brought to the country at the same time. Like I said, I didn't really want to ask. Sometimes if you ask a question, you have to be prepared for the answer. Yes. And I don't think I'm prepared for the answer.
So you haven't really asked the question.
Never really. We're amazing now. We're cool now. But I still, like, for me, there's still always been a tension, but I still love them. It doesn't really matter. I can't hold grudge on that. I need to move on with my life. Right. But I realized moving on with my life, although I said, you know what, I forgive them what's not, it still affects my personal life.
Yeah.
That's that. So it's something that I feel like if I get an answer, will I be more angry? You could have changed it by doing this. So, because me understanding a lot of things now was just like, okay, why couldn't you done this prior? I just don't want to hear no excuse. So I just don't ask. I just leave it as what it is. So I don't think people like, especially like my best friend is a female. And I always understand why I always have best friend as female, because my best friends always give me that attention, that love that I needed. And it's like, but at the same time, I give so much because I don't want them to go nowhere. So I give them all of me. But then when they do leave, I'm just like, oh man, I think back up to everything in my childhood. Right, so that's when I realized I haven't really mastered this as I thought I did. So what I've what I've done, I just try to meditate, try to just play some jazz just to clear my mind. I realize anything you listen to affects your thinking process. So I don't want to be angry and sad and then listen to like sad R&B or dancehall, and then my mind will not be there. I listen to just instrumental so I could think, more rationally. I don't want to overthink things and say the wrong thing, because words is something you can't really take back. Right. So it affects me to a point where I sometimes I just don't know what to say. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I just take it and just leave it. So I became like a punching bag.
So I told Aaron I wasn't gonna cry.
Why are you crying? Don't cry, don't cry.
Because this subject is it's hard for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I promised I wasn't gonna cry. But you saying, you talking about this kind of just made me so sad, because I totally get you. And and like you said, there's not so much you don't get over it.
Yeah.
You understand it. You get to a place where you begin to understand it, but you don't get over it. Because as you say, when a child lost that maternal love, it's almost like you're constantly looking for that maternal love or paternal love, either or. For a parent, you're constantly looking for it. And if you're 50 or 60 or 70 and you didn't get it, you constantly need it. So when you say that, it just I totally understand. It's almost like you wish that something could magically happen and you just start getting that. That thing is almost like you're in your DNA. There is a space for that.
Correct.
The space for that will never be filled up. It can only be filled up by that mother or that father, right? Am I correct, guys?
Yeah.
Am I? I know.
Yeah. Yeah, but the hard thing, because like it could only be filled by that person, that individual, but then you're not going to get it. So that's the hardest part, knowing that you're not going to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you do then? Because I spoke to my parents. I have let them know how I felt, and I think they understand to a point, but don't fully get it. I share my emotional aspect. I put all my pride aside, all my anger aside, and just trying to better myself. I was doing it for me, and I realized that didn't get me nowhere. It's still because I'm like, okay, although I said all this, I'm still wanting it. Although I said, you know what, it's okay, I forgive you, but although I'm saying all this, I feel like I'm a kid again. I put on my little mask and just pretend like it doesn't upset me or bugs me, but it does every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
true. Go on, Aaron. Thank you for being so honest and open.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that's thanks for the honesty, the openness, and for sharing the struggle, right? Because I know you said you've forgiven them, and it's a big part, right, of moving forward, being able to forgive and to truly let go of that situation, and it takes time. It takes maybe years, right, to truly let go, and to stop dwelling on it, right, on that loss, dwelling on that loss, because the more we think about that loss, is that the more we experience it, in our being. So it's like, once you deal with it, then you now have to focus on yourself, put that energy on yourself, and building up yourself, giving yourself that love, and just developing a different mindset. I know sometimes that old mind, that 5-year-old mind, tries to pull you back there, but the goal is to just lessen that voice, and that's part of the healing, right?
Correct.
If we carry that 5-year-old around with us forever, we're always going to be in pain. We're always going to be thinking about that pain, but we need to lessen that voice of the 5-year-old and develop the voice of the man that you are now. You know, the
Correct.
loving, caring, passionate human being that you are now, and focus on that.
Stop it.
And to know that you have a lot to give, you know,
Yeah,
and
sure.
and just change that just change that thinking, you know, that you're lovable, you know, you deserve love, you're worthy of love, you know, and you're going to give yourself love.
Yeah.
Right. And once you get clear on that path, then finding somebody or being with somebody, I think, becomes so much easier because now you have a new energy pulling you forward, as opposed to that 5-year-old energy pulling you back, and creating that circle, that cycle. So
you know what? It's funny how you said it, because just like I thought I have kind of mastered that, and I just feel like when, let's say, I speak to someone. And I always have my triggers, and my problem is, how do I not have those triggers? And I realize it's just like I've been having it year by year, and if someone says something, it will trigger me where I'm just like, you know what, just bye, just go. I'm not ready. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So I always have this trigger where it's like, once that happened, you have to go. You have to go.
Okay.
Which is bad, which is terrible.
Definitely.
But that's good because it's part of the journey, and a lot of people are where you're at. We're gonna chime in, Tabo. We're gonna get Tabo to come in and respond to that.
But before you go, Sandra, I think what Treyon is talking about there, and it's part of the work that we do in helping people to clear the path, recognizing those old brain patterns that bring you back in time, right? And you can't change things until you become aware of it and realize the stronghold it has on you. And you have to get to that point where you just make that decision. This is it. Today's the day, the last day I'm going to, harbor these thoughts. I'm going to feel this way. I'm going to let something just get under my skin and explode like an uncontrollable being, right? You want to be able to get, and I don't want to make let my words belittle the situation, but you have to get to the point where you make that decision. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to create new responses, and to deaden that effect that trigger had on you in the past, where it can happen and you don't even flinch, right? Yes. Your mind is in a total different place, a different focus, different energy. So, but that's just the part of the work that we do in terms of being able to let go of the past, of that past. Just leave it there and move forward.
Also understanding, Aaron, and also understanding what I come to understand and what I help people to understand is that no one can give you what you need. So that thing that you've lost, thing that you seemingly lost, no one can replace it. And what I realized that you didn't actually lose anything. And so I know that I had anger against my mother from many, so much anger against my mother because I had blamed her. But I realized that I didn't lose anything. She wasn't there, but I didn't lose anything because all she transported me to this universe, if you may, or this earth. So she was a transport, and she wasn't there in my early years, but I realized that I really didn't lose as much as I thought I lost, because it was always within me. The love, amazing love was always within me. I just needed to tap into it. And the moment I start tapping into it, I realized that no other person, no exterior, nothing on the outside of me.
Powerful.
Nothing on my mother can't fill me up. My husband, my boyfriend, and my friends, they cannot fill me up. So I started to just feed myself with my own love.
Right.
And I realize the more I feed myself with my own love, the more I bloom, the more I blossom, the more I flourish. And so
Nice.
I don't need anybody to give me it.
That's
And,
good.
and I realized that. But it took time. It took time. It took time being naked. It took time going through some rough stuff. It took time being low. It took time to understand this. And the moment I grabbed that, I'm like, yeah, I got this. I have so much. And so I show up giving myself all of myself. Well, I did say don't give all of, give a lot of you. A lot, but probably not all of yourself. And the more I did that, the more I flourished. So I want to chime into Tabo because I know she has something amazing to say. So take it away, Tabo.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, welcome, Dr. Tabo.
Thank you, Aaron. Hi, everyone. Good to see you too. Hi, Trey. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to say, Sandra, just to add on to what you said. Well, there are so many powerful things that you mentioned actually, but I just wanted to say that for me, the first step was recognizing that I was messed up myself, that I attracted certain relationships into my life for a reason, for my own growth, for my own evolution, and also coming to a place of recognizing that I actually chose my parents for a reason, whether they were good to me, whether they were bad for me, but I needed those parents in order for me to become the woman that I am today. So you chose them before you came into being on Mother Earth. So it's no coincidence that your mother was the way she was, Sandra. It's no coincidence that Trey, the family that you're coming from, you felt like they were not present, as in they didn't show up for you because you needed that pain. You needed those circumstances in order for you to evolve into the healer you are, into the teacher you are, into the man that you're yet becoming, right? So there are no coincidences. Everything happened exactly like how it was supposed to happen. And Sandra, you touched on this, that you got to a point where you healed yourself and you started recognizing that, oh yeah, my mother was okay. I'm no longer mad at her. It was supposed to be that way. And for me, I can relate to that as well, because my mother passed away when I was 14. I think when that incident happened, instantly I was questioning God. God, why would you take away my mother when I'm so young? Why did my mother have to go when I'm young? And at the time, of course, I did feel as though I was abandoned by God, but also the aunt that came into my life, I think she did the best that she could have done at the time. I mean, basing it on what she knew to be truth at the time, but I didn't feel as though she was present enough, and I didn't feel the love that I yearned for at the time. But now looking back, I recognize that she had to have been that way in order for me to grow myself, to heal myself into everything that I am now.
You are.
Yeah.
Powerful. Wow. Good perspective. Very well.
That is amazing. So that is amazing. Wow. So Trey, we know that you get really real just now and make me cry, but I've talked to you and I've known you and I really admire you. I want you to tell our viewers the journey you've been on and how you use your art to heal not only yourself but your community, because that's what you're doing. So we all have different ways of how we heal ourselves and when a person truly begins to heal, Trey, you can't keep it to yourself. And that's why you know a person is healing. It's no longer you, but you become something bigger than yourself. And you just want to give. And you want to help. And you want to spread it. And that's what you're doing. So let's not minimize this. You're on a journey of healing. And I know that those triggers will come. They come for me too, trust me. Those triggers will come. But as Aaron said, we now know better where to put them, how to deal with them, how to remember and not remember.
Mm-hmm.
But tell us how you have been helping your community through
Okay.
your work part. Go
All
for it.
right. Let me take a sip of my ginger ale.
Of course. I'm so glad.
Sure, it's good to
Clear
know.
my throat there.
Big hello
um,
from the motherland. Hi, Simsa from Ghana. Oh, we love it.
West
Hey,
Africa in
Dusty.
the building.
Yeah.
All right.
Had to say.
Well, man, where do I start? Our conversation prior before it went on and on. But so just to dim things down, when I did came to this country, of course, I was taking ownership of my own little attitude problem as well, and it it caused friction in the family, and I was put in foster care and group homes, and it just which also made everything more worse now because I'm just like, oh, now I'm in foster care. I'm just like, wow, I came to this country. I'm not even with my parents. I'm in foster care. Okay, good. So I was dealing with all these anger problems, and I always draw. Since I was five, I realized a lot of things happened to me when I was five. I draw, I do all this thing, but it was good. Um, and I never, as a Caribbean man, we're not supposed to. A man not supposed to draw. You know, we're supposed to fix cars, build houses. Like we're not supposed to draw. So no one ever really liked that I was drawing. So I kept it to myself.
Hello,
Um,
Kingsley.
Hello, everybody,
Yeah,
and
hi, everybody.
it's something that I now took art on because now my love led to just the streets. So I was getting love from the streets more than I was getting it from anywhere else.
Mhm.
And you being in the situation I was in, you don't know what love was. You don't know which was the right love. You know what was toxic love. You just know love was love. No matter what it is, you will take it. And it was a lot of toxic love I've been receiving because that's what I was used to.
Right.
So so it came as a norm to me. So I long story short, I was supposed to do some a lot of time, and I enter a Woodbridge Art Fair before I went in, and art is the thing that actually got me out of jail. So the judge was retiring, and he read my name, and I was his last case by the way, and he read my name, and he's like, Treyon. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, of course, the name is right there. But he's like, you enter an art contest. I'm like, yes, I did. And he's like, oh, I judge your art. And
Wow.
it's like, oh, okay.
Wow.
But then I was like, okay, what? Okay, because my art was never some. That's my first time putting it public, so I didn't see anything about it. So I kind of told some of my story to him, and he's like, you know what? I want to do something for you. I want to. This is my last case. I'm gonna drop all your charges. And I remember I was looking at like 30 years in jail, and he dropped all my stuff, and I don't know what he seen it in me. And after all that, I went back to the courthouse where I seen about 8 judges. It was a long table, and they sat me right in the middle. I don't know what they seen in me. I never seen anything in myself. So I was just ready to whatever happened to me. I don't care because nothing wasn't going the way it was going anyways. So now what I've done, I have used that, and I'm like, okay, I cannot fail this guy. Now when you fail him, I'm like, he's seen something in myself that I did not see. So I need to
Wow.
bring that out.
Wow.
So now what I do, like now I have my studio, and I also share my stories. I use art for therapy basically because it helps me. Every time I'm going through something, I paint, and once I paint, I leave all that stress, that drama, that trauma, whatever it is I'm going through that time on the canvas. I turn it into art. I turn it into something that I take basically a negative and turn it into a positive. So that's where I teach, especially to kids. And I work with Peel Police to actually get kids off the street and out of gangs. So
Nice.
there's
Good work.
something I try to use my art to do, and try to show guys like doesn't matter what you do in life, it doesn't matter. It should not be gender role, you know. So I want everyone to realize just a female's not supposed to wash the dishes and a guy's supposed to take out garbage. That's not how it is, you know. So Because it's just like these kids now, it's just like they're smarter than how we were before. We just like to take things. Now kids have so much information now. We just want to make sure we give them the right one. So that's why I use my experience and show them, okay, this was my bad judgments.
Yeah.
So you guys have to use this to make it good.
Awesome.
Wow.
Great story, man.
Wow.
There we are. Yeah. So that's just a quick little thing. What I help the community with and turn into a business.
Fantastic.
You turn into a business, and it's also your
What a story.
healing, and
Of course.
what has redeemed you.
Correct.
Your heart. So the art has been your significant source of healing, which you in turn help to help others to heal. Do you want to tell us about your paint nights and how you help ladies and men?
Yeah, I'm man now. Yeah,
and men to tap into their own creative space.
Of course, yeah. So it's like and honestly, it's so funny because I help others heal. Like my paint night, I have people email me saying that I was going through suicidal thoughts and all this, and all these things I already been through. So when I actually talk to them one-on-one, I'm just like, wow, I'm helping others to heal. But then I'm just like, wait, I'm working so much on helping others, I don't even help myself. I don't know how to help myself to heal. So it's like I need to like when I have guys in here, especially, it makes that like that's my healing. Once I could get a guy in my studio, I'm happy. To make a man come out and paint something that guy don't really want, something that I said I shouldn't be doing and I couldn't do. To make a guy come out and do it and fall in love with it, it's great that I have females come in, but it's good. It's good. That's my norm. I want something just to shock me back to reality. So every time I see a guy come, that shock me back into reality, saying that, hey, I'm actually doing something that make this guy put his pride away and wants not to come out and paint and tell me that, hey, I love what you do. So for a man to come and tell me that means so much more than anything else.
Wow.
That in itself is healing, no?
Wow.
Yeah. You know, that's amazing.
You're such an inspiration, Trey. You're doing that.
Shauna, stop it, Shauna. Shauna, thank you. Man, you guys want me to blush on this camera, man? You guys stop it.
You are doing so much. Like you underestimate how much you're actually doing, and how much you're feeling yourself in the process. Because that's what it is. It's a journey. It's not a destination.
Yeah.
One day, it's one day at a time. Yeah.
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 I think it's a good exchange. Go ahead.
The doctor needs a
No, you know what, Trey? Wow, your story is so powerful. It touched me beyond words. And I just wanted to ask you, at what point did you know that your moment being in the courtroom and hearing the judge saying, I'm going to drop all your charges, at what point in your journey did you know that was a God moment? That was a moment of God speaking to you and revealing to you what your purpose is. When did you, what did that moment mean to you?
Well, to be honest with you, it never hit me until, because I was put in on house arrest for almost maybe eight months or so, because he's not going to let me just fly away like that. So it really hit me when I was under the house arrest, because I thought all this was all fake. I'm like, what do you mean? You're gonna like it didn't really hit me until I actually sat at home and thought about everything. And I just thought about everything in life, like what you were saying earlier, that we have a purpose. We go through all this for a reason. So that's when I was like, wow, like God really had a plan for me and had to be stronger for what I am right now. So for me to go through all that, I'm like, wait, hold up. Is honestly, I never knew what I wanted to be in life. Never. I never knew what I'm gonna do, and I'm just like, wait, this might be my calling to share my story, because I'm a very open person. It never fazed me what people thought of me. So I'm like, a lot of people's going through what I've been through. So I'm like, if I could be that voice to at least start it, be like, hey, share this. And then that's what I'm like, okay, maybe this is what God want me to do, and this is what my calling is, and this is what I'm passionate about because it's who I am.
Fantastic.
So I think it hit me, when after all that happened, and because when I was sitting with the judges, I'm just watching and just keep note, all these are white men.
Of course.
So that's why I was like, some fishy's going on here. I'm like,
white men are good men.
Yeah.
No, they are good men, but it's just like
White men are good men.
no, of course. Hey, a white man gave me a second chance in life, so I can't, But it's just like for you growing up in the street and always being arrested by white men, police. Also, you're doing bad. You're just thinking, why are you arresting me? Because I'm black? Like, no, because you're doing bad. So it's just like, but like sitting in front of them and hearing what they say, and just like, and they like continue with your art and this and that. Oh, and before you could even drop the stuff, he wants me to paint a photo of for him that's dictate not doing drugs, not being in gangs, being off the street, gun violence. I had to do a painting for him and come back to court and give it to him in court. So he really pushed me to my limit. So at that moment when I came back too, I realized, I'm like, wow, people actually like my art. That is nice.
Right.
That is nice. So so that it hit me after all that, I would say, because you once you're in it, your mind is just going. You don't know what to think, right? So yeah.
So he, as I said before, that judge was your angel, and you were supposed to meet him. You met him twice. He was at the fair when you were in school.
Yeah, when I was in
the courtroom.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the one who judged and stuff. So
that's why he recognized him, because he met him when he was in school and did an art piece for a fair. And then now you met him again. God. So
I met him. But I didn't realize it was him because it was he was different, right? So I didn't realize. So it was
full circle moments. Full circle moments.
It was, it's fun because every time I tell my story, I always get the reaction that I get now. But when I tell the story, I'm like, I'm just like, oh, it's weird how it happened. I don't have that reaction how you guys feel, because I feel like I was in it, so I'm just like, oh wow, I literally missed I wouldn't have been here right now talking to you guys. So,
but I think also it's a reminder that you've always been divinely protected and guided, even before.
Good.
You know?
I'm gonna take that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that.
You are. Even when you are in the midst of that pain in the street doing all of that, God was there too, because God needed you to go through that experience in order for us to experience the you that you are now.
Correct.
So powerful. So powerful.
Man, you are amazing. Jeez, man, you talk to me every day. You talk to me every day.
Okay.
Don't worry, Aaron. You too. Don't worry.
So hey, listen.
When I was her age, I was not thinking at that level. Okay, probably not. So that's why I think she's amazing. She is. She's my daughter. Pepper. Let me just read this. Pepper said, "I'm always hearing about Trey's art in community. I have been to his website many times to view event dates and new pieces." Oh wow! So see, you've been watching, and Pepper is.
You're watching me. Yeah, you're watching me. I see.
She's watching.
We all are.
Good.
You know what, Trey? I have to say this. You inspired me.
Wow.
You gave me so much power to also own my story. And at the right time, I will get to that point. But remember this always. When you hear me sharing my story at the right time, know that you gave me the power to do that.
Oh, that means a lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I encourage everyone to share the story. I realized it really lifted like a heavy part of me. Like it really did, for me to share my story. And it's like now I love sharing it, because you never know who you're gonna touch. All right, and I just want to help. That's all.
It's a powerful story. It's a powerful story, but we have 3 minutes really. So we're gonna go to last
3 minutes.
and Trey, always remember that every time you open your mouth, somebody has been healed. So
That's
don't
right.
feel like you have nothing to offer. You're actually offering a lot.
Thank you so
A
much.
lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Always remember that, and I admire you. I really do, and you inspire me so much.
Thank
I tell you over and over. So you know that I watch you, and I just see that. Wow, look at this young man.
Wow.
You took a very negative situation. Like you were a kid, a very
Correct.
negative situation, and you turn it. And I know you went through bumps, and that's the journey, and that is the journey. You went through some
For
bumps,
sure.
and here you are today to tell
Thank you.
us about it and to tell others how they can heal
Because,
Right.
yep,
and
sure.
how they can extend their arms to community, because the gifting is not for you alone. It's really
No,
for your community, for your world, for your nation. Thank you for doing what you do.
thank you
God
so much. Appreciate it.
bless you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Last word, I'm going to go to Aaron.
Aaron,
So, ditto to everything Sandra said. Thank you so much, Treon, for sharing your story, for being real, and for leading with your heart and giving to your community and answering the call to step up and to be the man that you're called to be. You know,
Amazing. Amen.
there's a quote that I just got this quote before we came on air, and I'm going to read it for you. It says, "One way to ensure we live with passion is to find our life's purpose, through which we can serve our community and ourselves in meaningful ways." I think you embody that.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. You need to send that to me, Aaron. You need to send that to me.
I sure will.
You need to send that to me. Appreciate that.
Wow. Wow.
Last
Wow.
word. Last word.
Yes, you know what, Trey? You got a new fan today, added on your
All
list.
right.
Right.
good
Your
to
story
know.
is your story is a true testimony of what it means to turn pain into purpose, to turn our struggles
Yeah.
into strength. Just the fact that looking back at your story, being at that defining moment, at your moment of pain, at your moment of your worst mistake, and looking at your journey and how God turned that around and used the very same thing to lead you into your purpose, into your calling. So you met me, so you allowed me to tap into my own mistakes, my own mishappenings along the way, and you shifted the lens through which I see myself, through which I see my pain, through which I see my mistakes. And thank you so much for allowing the divine God source, the creator, to use you in this magnificent way. You are healing lives, a true healer. Nobody in the world can take away from you that experience. And it is because of those experiences that you are able to touch the lives that you're touching. So never stop sharing it.
Thank you. Man, can I like talk to her like for 1 minute every single day like that? Like,
I'll hook you up. But
thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for even doing this. This is very powerful. So thank you guys.
Thank you all for watching, and you know where to find Trey. Trey's
It's
Art.
Trey Arts. Yeah.
Trey Arts and Instagram.
Yep, and TreyArts.ca on the website. Everything is there.
TreyArts.ca. So you can connect with Trey there. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you, love. Thank you, everyone.
Hello there. This is Aaron.
And this is Sandra Turgot from Byond.
We are here today to explain to you the Byond Learning Castle, tell you what it is and what you can get out of the Byond Learning Castle. So Sandra, tell us about the Byond Learning Castle and what gave you the idea to come up with that concept.
So Aaron, I believe that a strong mind is like a fortress and it's not easily invaded. So with this understanding, the Learning Castle was created. And why we say the Learning Castle is that we want to invite people to do the work, to develop that strong mind, to develop a solid concept of being, of who they truly are, the authentic self, the authentic person. Who are you? So in the Learning Castle, we take our participants through a self-discovery, if you may, a journey to self-discovery, which is a powerful thing.
Absolutely.
A journey to self-discovery.
Dak TV.
So we can start a show after the show.